Cristiano Ronaldo is reportedly worth as much as $1.4 billion, making him the first team sport athlete to reach that milestone while still playing. But where does all that money really come from? Keep watching as I break down the salary, endorsements, businesses, and investments behind his fortune, starting with the biggest paycheck of them all. Let's get straight to it. Cristiano Ronaldo signed with Al Nassr in December 2022, and by mid-2025, that relationship had turned into the richest playing contract in the history of professional sport. His salary at Al Nassr in 2026 is approximately 208 million euros per year, around $235 million, which comes out to roughly 4 million euros per week. That's not a typo, for million euros a week. And here's the part that changes everything about how far that money actually goes. Because Saudi Arabia has no personal income tax. His take-home figure is essentially the gross amount. No European tax office is touching that check. Nothing gets clipped off the top. Every euro he's promised is a euro that lands in his account. The extension itself was signed in the summer of 2025, and is what flipped the switch on his net worth. Cristiano Ronaldo officially became a billionaire in June 2025 upon signing an enormous contract extension with Saudi team Al Nassr. He was not a billionaire prior to that, despite some reports to the contrary. So this isn't some slow accumulation story. There's a specific moment, a specific signature, where he crossed into 10-figure territory. Now, how big was that extension really? Reports vary, but they're all pointing at a number that dwarfs anything else in team sports. Ronaldo's 2025 contract extension with Alabama Nassr is reportedly worth between $400 to $620 million over 2 years, including base salary bonuses and potentially a 15% ownership stake in the club. Some estimates go even further. Some estimates value the total package at over $900 million. That equity piece is worth sitting with for a second, because it's not just a paycheck. He's now got skin in the club itself. As part of his deal with Al Nassr, Ronaldo reportedly received a 15% stake in the soccer club, a team-owning trend that has been embraced by fellow stars David Beckham and eventually Lionel Messi, who are affiliated with Inter Miami CF. So, every time Al Nassr's valuation climbs, through sponsorships, through Saudi Pro League, growth, through the broader Vision 2030 push, Ronaldo's own net worth climbs right alongside it. He's not just an employee anymore. He's a shareholder. The signing details on the money side are just as staggering when you break them into pieces. He was paid a signing-on bonus of $33.71 million, and another $52.28 million awaits him if he triggers the second year of his deal. That's a signing bonus alone that's bigger than the total career earnings of most professional athletes across every sport. And that's before a single euro of base salary or a single bonus for goals, trophies, or league titles. Speaking of trophies, this past season actually paid out. He finished the 2025-26 season at Al Nassr, having contributed to the club's Saudi Pro League title, which activated a significant league bonus on top of his base salary. So it's not just a guaranteed number sitting in a vault. Performance still moves the needle, even at 41 years old, even years removed from his peak at Real Madrid. And then there's the lifestyle the contract buys him, which honestly reads like something out of a different planet. When he first moved to Riyadh, he wasn't messing around with modest housing. Upon moving to Riyadh in late 2022, Ronaldo and his family initially occupied a kingdom suite at the Four Seasons, costing an estimated $300,000 per month. $300,000 a month just to live somewhere while the permanent place got sorted. And it did get sorted. By 2024, they transitioned into a permanent, high-security palace in an undisclosed luxury neighborhood of Riyadh. This isn't him buying out of pocket, either. It's built directly into his deal. This estate is provided as part of his $620 million Al Nassr contract, which includes a 16-person, full-time staff and private jet access. 16 people just for his household? He and his family are given the service of 16 people, including 3 drivers for housekeepers, 2 chefs, 3 gardeners, and 4 security personnel. Now zoom out to the annual number, because this is where the headline figures come from. Multiple outlets, using slightly different methods, keep landing in the same range. Forbes has estimated that Ronaldo earned about $235 million from football-related activities over the past year, a figure that includes salary, performance bonuses, and commercial arrangements linked to his club career. And when you fold in every source of income beyond football, the total gets even bigger. His total compensation of $300 million in 2026, including endorsements, is his highest annual sum yet. That's why Forbes keeps putting him at number 1 on its list. Forbes ranked him the highest paid athlete in the world for 2025, and according to one report, he's now held that spot for years running. That's not a fluke season. That's a sustained financial run that started the moment he touched down in Riyadh. Here's the thing people miss when they hear Saudi contract and assume it's just a farewell tour paycheck for an aging star. The tax structure alone rewires the whole comparison. In effect, his Saudi contract gives him a built-in 45% advantage over athletes competing in high-tax jurisdictions, meaning every $100 he earns in Riyadh equals about $182 in pre-tax earnings anywhere else. So when people say, well, a Premier League star earns almost as much, they're not accounting for the fact that Ronaldo's number doesn't get cut in half by a tax office first. Put all of that together, the base salary, the bonuses, the equity, the tax-free structure, and you get a contract that isn't just the biggest in football, it's the biggest in the history of team sports. Full stop. And it's the single biggest reason his net worth crossed the billion-dollar line in the first place. But the salary is only one engine in this empire. The other one has been running quietly in the background for almost a decade, and it's going to keep paying him long after he stopped playing. Football altogether, the Al Nassr contract is the loudest number in Ronaldo's empire. The Nike deal is the deepest one. This is a piece of the puzzle that turns him from highest paid athlete of the year into generational wealth machine. Here's how it works. Back in 2016, at the peak of his Real Madrid years, Nike didn't just renew his sponsorship. They tore up the whole concept of a sponsorship deal. Nike awarded Cristiano Ronaldo a lifetime deal in 2016, a partnership that stretches back to his early career and culminated in a lifetime endorsement deal reportedly worth over $1 billion. Now, lifetime is doing a lot of work in that sentence, and it's worth explaining why that word matters so much. The structure matters. Unlike a standard sponsorship with an expiration date, this deal is designed to generate income for decades, well beyond Ronaldo's playing career. Most athletes sign a deal, play out the term, and then have to renegotiate or walk away. Ronaldo doesn't have that problem, whether he's playing in Saudi Arabia this year or sitting on a beach in Madeira in 15 years. The Nike money keeps flowing, and Nike doesn't hand these out often. This is genuinely rare air. Nike has handed out exactly 3 lifetime contracts in its history. 2 belong to Michael Jordan and LeBron James, and Ronaldo is the only footballer in that company. Think about that for a second. In a sport with billions of fans across every continent, in a company that sponsors thousands of athletes, Ronaldo is the only soccer player who's ever been given that level of trust, breaking down the actual payment structure. The agreement pays approximately $18 million annually in base compensation, plus royalties on CR7 branded merchandise. So it's not a flat check. It scales with how much CR7 gear actually sells. And the return on investment for Nike has been enormous. In 2016, Forbes estimated that Ronaldo generated $500 million in media value for Nike in a single year. That's the kind of number that explains why they were willing to hand him a deal with no expiration date in the first place. Now here's where it gets interesting, because Nike money is old news at this point. The newer engine, the one that exploded in just the last couple of years, is Ronaldo's social media operation, and it's honestly starting to look less like a footballer's Instagram and more like an actual broadcast network. Start with the raw scale of the audience. Ronaldo holds the largest social media presence of any human, which serves as a primary driver of his off-field wealth. He has more than 670 million followers on Instagram, making him the #1 most followed person on the platform, with roughly 160 million more followers than Lionel Messi. That audience translates directly into cash every time he posts something sponsored. On Instagram, Ronaldo commands between $2.5 million and $3.5 million per sponsored post. Some estimates push that even higher, with certain reports citing figures over $3 million a post. Either way, we're talking about a single photo, caption and tagged, generating more money than most people make in 5 years of work. Then there's YouTube, which he only entered recently, but which blew up almost instantly. In late 2024, he launched his YouTube channel, You Are Cristiano, which became the fastest channel in history to reach 50 million subscribers. That's not a slow build. That's a launch that outpaced literally every channel that's ever existed on the platform. As of March 2026, the channel has surpassed 78 million subscribers, generating an estimated $10 million in annual high-margin revenue. What's notable is how that channel fits into the bigger picture. It's not the biggest number in his empire, but it's arguably the most efficient one. Pure margin, almost no overhead. Running off content he'd probably be filming for his own life anyway. Taken together, his social media operation functions as its own media company, one with a reach that rivals broadcast networks. Add it all up, and you start to see why analysts describe his off-field earnings as a genuine parallel business, not just pocket change on top of football salary. With 665 million followers, more than any other person, his social media presence generates over $100 million in annual income. $100 million from posting, on top of a $250 million football salary. Outro. Cristiano Ronaldo's journey proves that true greatness isn't built overnight. From his humble beginnings on the island of Madeira to becoming one of the most recognized athletes on the planet, Ronaldo has transformed extraordinary talent into a global empire. Through record-breaking contracts, smart business investments, luxury real estate, world-class supercars, and unmatched dedication to excellence, he has built a legacy that extends far beyond football. But perhaps the most impressive part of his story isn't the billions or the trophies. It's the relentless mindset that continues to drive him to new heights. Whether on the pitch or in business, Ronaldo has shown that discipline, ambition, and consistency can create an empire that inspires millions around the world. If you enjoyed this exclusive look inside Cristiano Ronaldo's incredible $1.4 billion empire, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into the world's richest celebrities, billionaire lifestyles, luxury mansions, private jets, yachts, and supercar collections. Which billionaire or celebrity should we feature next? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your suggestions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.